first makeup video on YouTube, so I'm so excited. Today I'm going to show you guys how to create this beautiful look using only drugstore products. So you do not need to spend a ton of money to achieve a flawless glam or an everyday makeup look. There are so many amazing drugstore products out there that work just as good as high-end. And let me tell you a little secret, most of these high-end products and these drugstore products are actually made in the same lab. Almost all these products that I've used on my face today are either products I've used for years or at least for the past few months. So they're definitely tried and tested. I am super obsessed with this look, but let's just get straight into it. First step for a full B should always be skin prep. I love when my skin is feeling super dewy, especially before I apply all of my base products, because then we can blend those base products seamlessly. If your skin is dry, this step is even more important. That way your foundation will not cling to any dry patches. So first thing I'm going to use is the e.l.f. Thirst Burst Drops. I use this one because it gives my skin a boost of hydration. It makes my skin look so plump and refreshed. Make sure you always let all your products dry before going on to the next step. This also has skincare ingredients. It has 5% niacinamide in it, so it could definitely help to even out the complexion over time. Now I'm going to go in with this one. It has a light tackiness to it, so it allows for the foundation to grip onto your skin. I forgot this step, but before we move on to any of the makeup products, make sure that your lips are moisturized. By the time you're applying your lip products, the products will glide on better. I'm pretty sure all of us have been using this since we were little kids. Okay, this next step isn't necessary, but if you want some glow to your skin, I love using the Lumi Glotion by L'Oreal Paris. There are so many ways to use this product, but I like to use it right before foundation. Cool thing about this is you can actually use this alone as primer. Sometimes I also mix this in with my foundation. Look at the glow it gives my skin. Now we're on to concealer. This is one of my favorite drugstore concealers. I love this one because it's lightweight and it also has really good buildable coverage. As you can see from the sponge applicator, it actually makes applying super easy and quick. Normally I like to apply it just like this, kind of in a triangle shape, and I find that this gives me a really nice lifted look. I wanted to give an honorable mention to the L'Oreal Paris True Match Concealer. It has so many different shades, so I'm sure there's going to be a shade for every single person out there. I'm going to let the concealer sit for a bit and we'll move on to foundation. This one has been one of my new favorites. This is the Maybelline Lumi Matte Foundation in the shade 332. This has such a beautiful finish and it blends effortlessly. I usually go in with the dense foundation brush like this and then use circular motions to blend. Make sure you bring this down to your neck. I just went to New York last week and I wore this all day long, and guys, it held up beautifully. Another one of my friends uses this too. She wore it all day and then in the evening we had an event to go to, so she went to go touch up her makeup and then she was like, what is there to even touch up? That's how good her skin looked that day. I'm just obsessed because it looks so full coverage, yet it feels so breathable and airy. But if you guys want something that is even more lightweight than this, with lighter coverage, then I would recommend this one. This is the new Lumi Glow Tint by L'Oreal Paris. If a foundation and the Lumi Glotion had a baby, it would be this. I've used this before in a TikTok video, and guys, it evened out my skin. Like, I like to bring it on my nose like so. If I have any leftover product, I like to bring it across like this. It really blends like a dream. I'm gonna have to cheat and use my favorite high-end loose powder. This one's by Huda Beauty because I can't seem to find my drugstore one. One that I normally use is this right here. I'm obsessed because it's lightweight, breathable. It blurs my pores like crazy. I'm gonna pretend that's this and just show you guys the technique that I use. So I'll take a brush that's not so dense, use a little bit of powder to just dust it across my under eye. I also like, trust me when I say it gives me the most flawless finish, and it controls shine without looking too dry. Okay, blush is one of my favorite parts of a makeup routine, and I have a couple of options for you guys here. This one is from e.l.f. It's only $9 Canadian. These are available in 12 shades. It's a long-lasting liquid formula. I actually go in with the Teddy Tint today just to show you guys how this lip product can work on your cheeks. I'm using today is called Current Mood. You can either use this with your fingers or you could use a brush. It gives the most prettiest blurred finish undertone. I love placing my blush upwards like so. As you can see, this will give you the illusion of that lifted cheekbone. Now we're gonna set this liquid blush with the powder blush. One of my favorite powder blushes out there are the NYX Buttermelt blushes. I actually have an olive undertone, so purple goes really well with that. Just like the name, it has a buttery texture, so it's super easy to blend. It has amazing pigment, so it is super easy to build up. You can either go for like a sheer wash of color or you can layer it for more intensity. If you're looking for an affordable bronzer, this one is it. This is the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Bronzer and Contour. So it's very similar to for powder bronzer. I love this one by L'Oreal Paris in the shade 500. Again, this one is also super pigmented, so you do not need a lot at all. I like to add this to the top of my cheekbone. On the top of my hairline, one of my favorites is by L'Oreal Paris. It's this one right here. I love this one because it has the tiniest little tips, so I could get really precise with it. Another one of my favorites, long-lasting. These ones right here are one of my favorites. L'Oreal Paris Infallible Grip Precision Felt Tip Eyeliners. Honestly, these are comparable to any high-end eyeliner that I've ever used. I never tested it for 30 hours, but they do last a really long time. The tip is super precise. I am a huge advocate when it comes to drugstore mascara. It also has a retractable design, so you don't have to sharpen this. Let me show you how easily they apply. I'm barely even pushing on this and it is gliding so nice on my lips. And quickly blend this in. Once it dries, like, it is not budging. Other recommendations for you is the NYX lip liner. They're also super easy to work with and they're long lasting as well. And now for the lips, guys, I have so many different recommendations. It's crazy. My recent favorites have been the Teddy Tints from Maybelline. I use this as blush, but they also are lip products. They come in 10 shades and I love the Glide. This is in the shade Blush Blaze. There's literally chili pepper in here. Finally, on to the last step, setting spray. If you want a drugstore waterproof, sweat resistant, and smudge resistant setting spray that makes your makeup last up to 30